Hello, everybody. There we go. I think that's good. Sitting outside in the yard, doing a little bit of grounding. Had a good day today. Went and had some lunch. Didn't really, didn't really do much of anything. Hit the Goodwill, found a dress. You know, I love the dresses. All right. Well, I have a lot of information. Um, I don't know how long it's going to take me to go through it, but here we go. Let's just get started. Sorry for the traffic. I am by a busy street, so it tends to get loud from time to time. Bear with me. I need some outdoor time. All right. So I have the name Michael. Michael is coming up as a name associated with my situation. There is a missing child. Um, believe this is for Sandy. It's too late for regrets. There is a planned kidnapping of a male child. All right, so I'm going to give a trigger warning here just in case, there are some people who aren't going to want to hear this. And the people involved definitely aren't going to want to hear this, but you know me, I'm going to say it anyway. So take this moment and click off if you don't want to hear what I'm about to say to you. I'm sure it's triggering to some, to others, it won't really make any difference whatsoever. So, on the count of three, 1, 2, 3. Here we go. So, there is a group of Nazi veterans that are drunks. They do drugs. They're gamblers, big time gamblers. They're the ones that are responsible for what's happening to me. They are now broke, can't even afford to buy a beer. And this group is completely self destructing because they are unable to accomplish what they set out to do, and that was to sacrifice me. And I hear that you all get on and watch me or watch for me every day to see if I'm still alive. Well, here I am, still alive. Um, Someone is being sent into my life to distract me, to, how am I going to say this? To get me to trust them so that I'll, go places and do things and whatever with them, only so they can abduct me and deliver me to this group because this group can't do it on their own. So they're having to get people to try to do things now. They've been doing that all along because they've been failing at everything that they've tried to do. So now they just keep trying to get more and more people involved, which is to their detriment because somebody's going to open their mouth. As a matter of fact, somebody already has talked to the feds. Oprah, Whoopi, Michelle Obama, and 50 Cent are all related, and they're all part of the Masonic group. This did not come to me through my downloads. This actually came to me from another reader. They are, however, responsible for siphoning my energy. They will all fall and fail. As a matter of fact, you are going to see so many celebrities now that are going to start falling. When I say falling, I mean their stardom is going to tank. Everything they do is going to fail. They're going to be looked at poorly. People are not going to be interested in anything they have to say or do anymore. And some of these celebrities are going to fall, like into the grave kind of fall. A lot of them have already. Nothing they do will be prosperous anymore. Anyone trying to siphon my energy will find themselves losing money, things, your own energy. And the more you try, the more energy you're actually giving me now. So instead of you siphoning my energy, whenever you try to do something to me, I am now getting your energy. The song Private Eyes by Hall & Oates came to me this morning because they're watching you. Oh, here we go with sirens again, which is another sign that God told me to look for. Sirens and spiders are two signs I'm supposed to look for. Well, I got bit several times by spiders. So there's that sign as well. So sirens and spiders, it's coming to pass. It's all coming to pass. Everything is happening in God's grand timing, and it's so perfect. So perfect. I don't know how many of you know this or not, but there are sick, really sick people in this world that are trying to make pedophilia legal. And they have that April Day, I believe is what it's called. I'm going to wait for this to pass. I saw a post on Instagram where somebody went on and tried to put something about, that day for pedophiles. And Elon Musk, took it down. Way to go, Elon Musk. You're my hero, dude. Good for you. Texas is now passing laws against drag queens and children. And there are other states that are soon going to follow Texas's lead. This is going to be chopped off. No more drag queen bullcrap in front of children. Pennsylvania is very significant for this month. There is somebody very special that is going to be celebrated in Pennsylvania this month. The depth of deception and lies and secrets that have been put into what is and has happened to me and to others is so vast that y'all wouldn't even believe. It's hard for me to wrap my head around it, let alone me try to explain it to other people. I have a story for you, but I'm going to tell you closer to the end. To the people that are involved in this, I'm supposed to tell you, your getaway plans will be blocked. There's a white truck with a gray zigzag type of design on it. That is another vehicle that has been driving by my house very often. Mother Earth, Gaia, talks to me whenever there is an issue, whether it be through birds mostly, crows. Crows warn me. Crows warn me whenever there's somebody or something around that is not for my better good. Something about a black BMW sports car. The ritual that's being planned for tonight will be the beginning of the end for y'all. I think this goes to the person who took out the PPP loan in my name, my business name. You didn't get away with what you think you got with what you thought you got away with. The IRS is actually on you, and now you have to pay back the funds because you didn't use the loan for what you said you were going to use it for. So now you have to pay back that loan. And you're also being looked at for tax evasion on your job, your online job. The false claims that were made against me in the court was denied. They can't prove these claims. So your request in the court has been denied. But I think that was already something that already happened. All right, so I have an uncle who left me as the benefactor in his will, and I guess it like totally pissed off the entire family. Everybody hated him after this. I asked, and I believe this was Don Roberts that left me as the benefactor. He's an older male relative. He died of health issues. He said he wasn't murdered. He died of health issues, health-related issues. He said that the thieves in my family are all getting a message of concern. That the message is that you're going to prison, 11:11 on the clock. As I said that. I have been released from all blockages, financial, legal. All blockages have been removed. I have been vindicated, and I won the case. And I will be receiving what was rightfully mine, and I will receive land and property, as well as money. This situation is over, is what Uncle Don is saying. This situation is over. He left these things to me because of how I was treated by my so-called parents. All right, so as a child, I was isolated from everybody. I was the black sheep of the family, obviously. When I was young, I think I was in like I want to say maybe between the 3rd and the 5th grade. It was summer, and my family, my mom, my dad, and they would take my brother, and they would leave me home by myself the entire day. They would leave me $3, and I would go to Taco Bell for lunch, and that would be the only meal that I ate for the entire day. I was supposed to iron all of the clothing in our house. That was my job. They never took me. They only took Dale. And I remember asking, why I couldn't go with them. And they said because we had a pickup truck and it was a bench seat and there were only 3 people allowed in the truck. So I had to stay home. But they isolated me on purpose. I was purposely isolated. This just so happens to be the same apartment complex where my dad tried to throw my mother off of the 3rd floor balcony. It's also the same place where my dad tried to drown my mother in the bathtub. This is also the same apartment complex where I was taken from. Taken is a weird word, and I was taken, but the way that I was taken was very strange. I woke up at midnight, on the dot, midnight, and I saw this very, very bright light that was coming from outside of the window. I was actually in my mom and dad's bed that night because, as per usual, my folks were at the bar and left my brother and I home alone. So I was sleeping in my mom and dad's room, and this light came through the window. They had a little tiny balcony off of the back of the bedroom, and I stepped out onto that balcony, and the light was so bright it was consuming. It was everywhere. It was just everywhere. That's all I can explain it as, the brightest light you could imagine, and it was everywhere. I had this like feeling inside of my gut that just kept pulling me to go outside, to go outside, to go outside. And no matter how hard I tried to fight this feeling, knowing, I was scared, I didn't want to go outside, but no matter how hard I tried to fight that feeling, I couldn't fight it. So I remember walking down the 3 flights of stairs, and we had apartment complexes that faced each other. There was a sidewalk that went down the middle. There was a cross sidewalk halfway, and then another set of apartments that faced the same way. And then there were 3 stairs that walked up and into this big field. Well, I remember walking down the stairs and to the sidewalk. And I remember thinking to myself, I shouldn't be doing this. I need to go back to the apartment. I shouldn't be doing this. I need to go back to the apartment. I still was like pulled, literally felt pulled to keep going down the sidewalk. There was no noise. There was no traffic noise. There were no dogs barking. There was nothing. Silence. It was this light and complete silence. When I hit the crosswalk where the sidewalk came together, this black cat ran out in front of me, and it was all, how a cat looks when it's all hunched up, like think of Halloween with the cat all hunched up, and it was hissing and spitting, and it just ran across the sidewalk in front of me. And at that point I was terrified. I wanted to go back so badly, but I couldn't go back. This pull was so strong. I remember getting to those steps and thinking to myself, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? I walked up those steps. I remember walking to the middle of the field, and I remember being told to lay down. Lay down. I laid down in the middle of the field. I woke up 3 hours later back in my mom and dad's bedroom. And I remember, because I looked at the clock when I woke up at midnight, and I looked at the clock when I woke up again, and it was 3 a.m. There were 3 hours that were completely unaccounted for. I don't know where I was. I don't know where I went. I don't know what happened to me. 3 hours unaccounted for. I always thought it was I was abducted by aliens, to be honest with you. I have been abducted in my sleep many times. I was the heaviest sleeper that you could imagine. Nothing would wake me up. But I realized, I know now, I was drugged, and I was meant to be asleep hard like that, so that when these people came for me, this group that did this testing on me, I wouldn't wake up. I don't know where they took me, and I don't know when they brought me back. But obviously they brought me back in sometime, because I always woke up back in my home, back in my house. But I remember waking up and just feeling exhausted, feeling like I didn't get any sleep at all, like I had been running a marathon all night long. I was exhausted, lethargic. Sometimes I had pain, and I didn't know why. Bruises and marks, and I didn't know where they came from. I didn't go to bed with them, but I woke up with them. Oh, you're just a klutzy kid. You're just a clumsy kid. I was being taken. And my parents knew about it. They allowed it, because they got paid for whatever these people were doing to me. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Against my will, I was entered into some kind of experimental program because of my DNA, because of my bloodline. Experimented on. I had so many problems with my female anatomy, my reproductive system. I went to a doctor once for an ovarian cyst. And when this doctor looked at me, he said something to me about my private area looked like somebody who had been molested. Well, obviously, I didn't say anything at that time because I was terrified of what would happen if I said something. Stockholm syndrome, trying to protect the people who hurt me. So many times I wish I would have said something. When situations arose, I wish I would have said something way back then. It wasn't meant to be. What's happening now is what was meant to happen. It was meant to happen this way because this was the only way that the people that did this to me, my family, and everybody involved, this was the only way for this to go down, because God took control and is exposing all of this all at the same time. My family, this demented, I'm being told that these veterans that are doing this to me are, and others, it's not just me, y'all, it's others. This is like some secret society that does some kind of mind control, electronic shock, torture, sex to children. And I'm being told that these people are all mentally ill and very mentally unstable. And they are being exposed. And this is exactly how it had to happen. Everything that happened to me in my life had to happen to me in my life in order for this very moment to take place, for these people to finally be stopped. This experimentation on the citizens of the United States who have this bloodline. They are trying to clone this bloodline. People with my DNA. And I'm telling you, I am sure it has something to do with the Rh negative minus the Rensis gene. That's exactly what this has to do with. Most people who have Rh negative blood have had the exact same kind of life that I've had, with being molested, being raped, being violated, being mentally, emotionally, physically, financially violated. Rh negative people have a very rough life, and this is why. Because this group of people is trying so hard to copy this bloodline, because it is a very rare and very old. I'm hearing all the way back to the Egyptians, kind of old, and farther. The Egyptians. You can call it angelic or you can call it alien. It's all a matter of perspective. But it is a very old and ancient bloodline. And all of the people with Rh negative and all of the people who have this blood are targeted by this group of people. It's a fact. It's a fact. And they've been getting away with this for a very long time. A very long time. Don Roberts felt really bad for the way that I was treated And that's why he made me the benefactor and the beneficiary of his will. Because he knew what was happening to me. And he was regretful and sad and sorry. And that's why he left me what he left me. But as per norm, it was stolen from me by the family because God forbid Linda have anything of any kind financially. My family tried to keep me down and have kept me down for a lot of years. I mean, they've tried. They I get up, they knock me down. I get up, they knock me down. I get up, they knock me down. It's been that way my entire life. Well, let me tell you something, family. It's done. Because when I get up this time, well, I'm already up. But when I get up, really get up, when I stand up, when I rise this time, you will be the ones that will fall and you won't be able to get back up. Most of you are going to end up in prison, and some of you are going to end up in a mental institution where you belong, Sandy, Jody. You're going to end up in a mental institution, and you're going to die there alone. Everything that you wanted for me is what is about to happen for you. You wanted me in a mental institution, you're going to end up in a mental institution. You wanted me to die alone, you're going to die alone. Do you get this? Do you understand how this is working? Everything that you wished for me, wanted for me, all the black magic that you did for me, everything that you thought in your head that you wanted to happen to me is exactly what is going to happen to you. And that goes across the board, whether you're my family or you're not my family. Whatever you wished for me, whatever you hoped for me, whatever you did black magic for against me will be exactly what happens to you and yours. So if you cast magic against my children, it's your children that are going to have the problem. If you cast black magic against me, wanting me dead, doing blood sacrifices, wanting me dead, that's what's going to happen to you. Everything that you wanted for me will be returned back to you. That's Dad. That's not me. That's Dad. My Heavenly Father stepped in because y'all wouldn't stop. This wasn't supposed to go this far. This wasn't supposed to be like this. Y'all took it to the next level. And then when that level didn't work, you took it up another notch. And when that level didn't work, you took it up another notch. When you kept taking it up is when God said, no more. No more of this. No more of this. And that's when God stepped in. That's when my ancestors stepped in. That's when my spirit guide stepped in. That's when Mother Gaia stepped in and started hitting people with all these tornadoes and hurricanes and swells of water and flooding and house pipes breaking, amongst many, many, many other things that will break you financially. Everything that you have keeps breaking down and breaking down and breaking down and breaking down and breaking down, and you have to keep spending money to fix it and fix it and fix it. Your cars are breaking down, your air conditioners are breaking down, your refrigerators are breaking down, your hot water heaters are breaking down, your pool is breaking down, pipes are bursting in your house. There's somebody's pipes that burst in their house that's causing black mold. That, my friend, is spirits. That black mold is dark spirits that you conjured against me that's returning to you. And you will never get this pipe fixed. Okay, let me rephrase that. You may be able to get this pipe fixed, but it's going to cost you a significant amount of money. And from what I'm hearing, you can't afford to do that right now. Your houses are being infested by roaches, which is what you tried to do to me, by mice, by rats. flies, gnats, everything, all of the famine, feast, plagues that you tried to send to me are all being returned right back to you. Everything. Y'all need to sit down. You need to sit down and take a good hard look at yourselves and figure out why you're so hurt on the inside of yourselves that you had to wish such bad, terrible things on a human being that you didn't even know. You didn't take the time to get to know, and some of you never knew me to begin with. It's the stalkers. Most of the stalkers you hired never even knew me, never knew anything about me except for what you told them, which was all lies. So I had people stalking me based on lies. I still have people stalking me based on lies. Now you're the ones that are going to be stalked. You're the ones that are going to be isolated. I can handle the isolation. I've been isolated my whole life. It doesn't mean anything to me. I enjoy my alone time. Are you kidding me right now? If it meant being alone or being around my family, I'd rather have been alone. I enjoyed my alone time. At least I didn't have to listen to the drama. I didn't have to see my dad beating the crap out of my mom. I didn't have to see my mom beating the crap out of my dad. I didn't have to see my mom putting drugs in my dad's beer so that he would pass out so she could go do whatever the hell she wanted to do. I didn't have to see my dad beating the hell out of me and my brother. I didn't have to see the family fights. I didn't have to see the craziness. I didn't have to see the drama. So being alone and being isolated wasn't as big of a deal for me as you people want to make it seem like. I enjoyed it. If I had a choice, I enjoy my own time. I enjoy time with me because I can look at myself in the mirror. I can look at myself in the mirror and I know that I am a decent, loving, kind, considerate, caring human being. I'm okay with being by myself. People who can't be alone with themselves are people who have some serious issues. And that's why y'all have to be in a gang, because none of you can stand being alone with yourselves. Maybe you need to take this opportunity to sit down and be alone and work on your hurts, work on your dark shadow side, figure out whatever it is inside of you that makes you such an ugly, hateful human being. Fix yourself. Love yourself enough to be willing to do that for yourself. Only you can fix you. There is no drug, no alcohol, no 1,000 people surrounding you can fix who you are. You are the only thing that can fix you. And when you're sober, what happens? Oh, I got to get drunk again because I can't deal with this. It's a vicious, ugly cycle that you people have been living in for your whole lives because none of you have ever wanted to do your shadow work. I feel sorry for you. I also pity you. And I also really wish and hope that y'all sit down and start taking a good long look at yourselves and fix yourselves. I want that for you. I'm sad that you live in such hatred. I'm sad for you that your world is so awful and ugly and twisted and demented that you feel like you have to do the things to other people that you're doing just in order to make yourself feel better. That's tragic and very sad. I hope you can fix yourself. I pray that you fix yourself. And my uncle is asking me to forgive my mother, forgive my family. I do forgive you. I do forgive you. But I don't ever want you back in my life. Forgiveness doesn't mean that I open that door back up again. It means that I forgive you because I have to do that for myself. I have to do that for me, and I have to do that for my Father God. I forgive you for me. I still love you, regardless of what you've done. I don't hate anybody. None of you. I don't hate any of you. I feel sad for you. My heart hurts for you, that you are in so much pain that you would do something like this to somebody else. I'm sad for you. I wish you healing. I wish you healing. But forgiveness doesn't mean come knocking on my door, because you won't be welcome back in my home. You are not welcome back in my life. I've learned those lessons. And I love myself enough to never let you back in my life, because I know that nothing has changed and nothing will ever change. And no matter how many times I tried, and no matter how many tears I cried, and no matter how many times I tried to talk and talk and talk and fix this, it all fell on deaf ears. And those times, those times of trying are way done. I mean, I tried for 50 some odd years. That's long enough. You've had long enough. If I couldn't fix it by then, it's never going to be fixed. So don't knock on my door. Don't call me. Don't text me. And if you do, I'm not going to answer. And if you show up at my house, I'll call the police. You're not welcome in my life. You're not welcome. But I still love you. And I forgive you. And this whole thing, this whole thing is over. It's finished. And I release it. I no longer have to carry your baggage. It's yours now. You carry it. I am baggage free. Hallelujah. Amen. Alrighty, y'all. I'm going to go. I'm going to enjoy my grass time, my grounding to Mother Earth time, sitting out here, staring at the clouds, loving life, loving God. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Go get some grounding out there, okay? Please love each other. Love yourselves even more. And you know I love you. I'll catch y'all later. Bye.